this guy is Nintendo's biggest fanboy. Here we go. This is already a fire one. His takes are notoriously bad. Now, this guy, anything that comes out that isn't here we go, damage control Steam Deck right here. Basically, Harmon Smith found out that Steam was making a portable console, and he's been mad about it ever since because it has the audacity to try to compete with Nintendo, and Nintendo's God in his mind. But this is Harmon Smith. We're gonna do a little things here. We're gonna watch some super cringe. This is gonna be bad. This guy has like, I don't know. This guy's fucking very special. He writes books. They're terrible.
Hey guys, it seems I was completely wrong. The Steam Deck is a way bigger success than Nintendo Switch will ever be, and PC gaming is the superior form of gaming. No, of course, that's a damn lie. You know, nobody actually thinks that. Not even Valve themselves think that, because when the news broke that the Steam Deck had taken a huge hit in sales from their after the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, they immediately did damage control. They did this thing where they were just like, well, actually, it was just a technical error, and actually, the Steam Deck was the Steam.
Dude, he doesn't cuddle the Switch Pro controller. He shoves it deep into his fucking anus, dude. He shoves it so far up, it travels back through his colon, and he spits it up with bile and poop. It's a bile poop controller by the time it comes back to the world.
Deck has actually been selling really well. Like, oh, please believe me that the Steam Deck has been.
Well, here's the thing that this fucking, when you have fanboyism, this is what you don't seem to understand about, like, stuff like the Steam Deck, right? I'm gonna break it down for you real quick. Steam probably had internal numbers that they wanted to hit. Now, they already knew that they had kind of a niche product, so their internal numbers probably weren't very high. And from what everything that can happen about, I didn't know that I can type that in chat. You can type anything in chat except for the N-word. I think that's the one thing I banned, and I think the F slur. I think I banned that. Don't test it, because that's fucking, please don't do that to me. But here's the thing that is funny. It's like, you look at two different marketplaces and two different ideas of what they want out of these things. One is an established company. This is their new console. It has the new numbers. This is all they do. Valve has Steam. They already have Steam. They're already winning in that regard. They release a goofy little thing like their fucking VR headset or the Steam Deck. They're just trying shit out. It's not the same market base. Yes, it's good to make money on it, absolutely, but it's also them just fucking having fun with shit. Now, the Steam Deck kind of has hit its focal point. It's gonna start dipping in sales because it is a niche. It was a niche product when it came out, and it will always be a niche product. That doesn't make it any less cool, and I don't think that takes anything away from the Switch. In fact, I think the Switch is a very, very cool device. I like my Switch. It's fun to play shit on the go or watch TV and play shit, but it's not gonna replace the fact that PC gaming is way better. I see the Switch as a companion piece to your regular consoles or your PC. But this guy is mad that anything else exists other than Nintendo, which is fucking hilarious, bro. You can tell by the fucking stress that has been put on that collar that he just chews on it all day while thinking about what Princess Peach would look like in a thong.
Been top of our charts for years, and yet has had no real reasonable uptick in sales, right? I think, like, the last figure I saw said that, like, they sold like 3 million of those things. They haven't sold that many. Like, let's be completely real. Like, nobody owns this thing. Nobody cares about it. And yet, for some reason, Valve is, like, really...
Dude, look how mad he is just at the existence of a competitor handheld. Bro's, like, fucking seething over a competitor handheld to the fucking Switch, bro. Nintendo's not gonna fuck you, dog.
Anxious to, like, protect their honor of, like, the Steam Deck. And to me, this is, like, really amusing, because in attempting to damage control the fact that the Steam Deck is a failure, they have acknowledged that it is possible for Steam charts to have a technical error and for sales to be misrepresented. So what that means, if this was true, is that the Steam charts are not reliable. So this is a lose-lose situation for Valve because either they are going to have to admit that the Steam Deck is not actually topping the sales charts every month.
Bro, did you hear the fucking vitriol in that knot, dude? God, he's so angry. God, he's so angry. This is just like a taste. This is a taste. He's got some. Now, this dude's gone through some fucking, like, what the fuck? Hold on. I saw something. What the fuck? Luigi's worst games of. Oh, it's an hour long. I'm not watching that. Let's watch his take on Doom.
I feel as if you were to put together a list of the most forced games. The most
forced games. Doom. So here's the thing. Here's something that's not debatable. Not debatable. Doom is one of the, if not the most influential game to ever come out. Plain and simple. It was a technological marvel. I mean, let's look when Doom came out, right? We're gonna look when Doom came out. Just I'm gonna spearhead this. Release date. We're gonna go Doom 1 release date. 1993. Now we're gonna look up okay, somebody that hangs out at middle schools. Yeah, dude, he definitely gives you that vibes. I don't know if Harmon Smith is a PDF file locale. I just know that he's a console boy locale. We're gonna look up what was Super Mario World. So it came no. What was the 3D Mario game called? I don't even know. Mario 64, 1996. So fucking Doom was doing 3D way before Nintendo was. It's not even close. The fact that Doom is out here doing the 3D shit, pushing they were pushing the fucking envelope of what could be done with technology, and you're not gonna call that influential. I mean, I'm not the biggest Doom 1 fan. I don't like Doom 1 and Doom 2 that much. They're not games that I'm like, oh, dude, I can't wait to go play Doom 1 and 2. They're not for me. I played them. I've enjoyed the little bit I played of them. I have them on the Switch. I run through them every once in a while just to kind of fuck around. But they're not my bread and butter. I do enjoy fucking around with mods. I like all the little stuff you can do, but they're not going to be my go-to every time for an FPS game. Now, Doom 3, Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, hopefully Doom the Dark Ages, all that shit is really my bread and butter. But the first two Dooms, I'd rather play a build engine game. To say they're not influential, though, is one of the worst fucking takes you can possibly have.
Most overhyped games, the most, like, fake influential titles out there. You would get a lot of Western developed titles on there. You would get like Ultima, you would get like Wing Commander, you would get like you know, Daggerfall or whatever, right? Nobody cares about or remembers these games. Let's be real.
No, people definitely remember Daggerfall and shit. I mean, Daggerfall, the thing that was cool about Daggerfall and Arena is they showed how cool RPGs could be, and they started the ball rolling, which then eventually came into Skyrim, which is one of the most influential RPGs of all time. Whether you like Skyrim or not, because I'm not a big Skyrim fan, I enjoyed it okay. I think it's gets a little bit too much overhype. But at the end of the day, it's still fucking influential, you clown. You fucking absolute gooner. Just because it doesn't have Mario sucking off Luigi while getting butt-fucked by Bowser doesn't mean that it's not an influential game. He sounds like you forgot the pickles guy from SpongeBob.
Like, the CRPG genre never had any relevancy. JRPGs took the concept and improved on it so quickly that the computer RPG was left in the dust and is completely obsolete outside of degenerates who only.
This isn't even true, because even in Japan, the Western RPG does have some influence. People do play Western RPGs. And FPS games, the only FPS game that was really had any influence in Japan is Doom, and Doom still has a pretty healthy community in Japan for the modder scene. Japan's not big on FPS games. I do own the Citadel and Beyond Citadel, which I will play on this channel, that are made by somebody in Japan. So FPS games aren't the most influential over there, not the biggest budget items, but to say that they're not at all is just completely fucking retroactive stupidity on your part, buddy.
Only care about consuming pornography by watching their character get plowed by a bear in Baldur's Gate 3. Right? You know, you have a lot of grifting, you have a lot of like industry legends that have never really produced anything before or since. The myth of the Western video game world is just a gigantic cope that exists to keep your attention away from the real innovators and the real creative leads in Japan, because
Yep, that's right, dude. The West has never innovated anything. It was all Japan, dude. Honestly, the video game industry wasn't nothing, dude. There wasn't a console before Nintendo. Everybody needs a real Atari. Shut the fuck up. Who the fuck brings up Pong and Atari? Go kill yourself. In Minecraft, those games didn't exist. It's just Nintendo. Nintendo's done it all.
nothing that the Western video game world has ever produced has ever really had any kind of real significant impact on gaming as a whole. Typically what happens is that some Westerner makes something that's extremely violent or sexual that gets hyped up.
Oh, dude, I love that he talks about JRPGs and then talks about how Western games are sexual. Bro, have you fucking played a JRPG? They're such gooner bait, bro. The anime world is like extra gooner bait. I'm sorry, dude. It's so hard to watch an anime that has like a half decent story and then just becomes 90% fan service. It happens with like half of anime. So, and the fact of the matter is that most JRPGs kind of go down that same fucking rabbit hole. The majority probably do, because what you're seeing is the hyper popular ones. You're not seeing the majority of everything else. You're not living in Japan, seeing Japan's market. You're seeing it retrospectively as an outsider from the country. So you have no fucking clue what you're talking about, even though you're like, oh, but Nintendo's so great. It's like, yeah, but you don't know the rest of the culture because you don't live in that culture. You don't breathe that culture. It's just like the people who say anime's not woke. Well, you don't know because you don't know the culture, political state of Japan.
By journalists for that reason. You know, Grand Theft Auto is a really good example where it's not a really well-made, interesting game. It's only popular because you can beat up NPCs.
No, it is a well-made. The original, like the old Grand Theft Autos were a well-made. Maybe there's a Nintendo lawyer in the room with him, and he is actually being held captive. I don't think so. I wish that was the case, but you don't have this fucking laid-back slop posture and lean if you're being held hostage. Like, we're 2 minutes into this video, right? 2 minutes into this video, and his take is already the worst thing ever. Oh, God, right here, dude.
So with the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 scandal kind of hitting the interwebs, I think it is time to kind of like address the elephant in the room. You know, the thing that's all on all of our minds. How do we get homosexuality out of video games? You know, because
Yeah, you fucking kick those gays out of video games. Just no more gays. I've had enough of the gays. All the gays need to leave. Don't like them. Stinky buttholes. Did you know they put it in the butt? Did you know they put it in the butt? Oh, it's stinky buttholes. You need to get them out of video games. It's like, here's the thing. I don't take anybody's arguments serious when they're just saying we need to get all of this out of video games. Like, no more, like, anytime there's a person of color, they're like, oh, it's, like, anytime you see a black person, you're like, ah, black people, scary. Fucking, oh my God, they're black. Their skin's darker than mine. Get them out of video games. That's like stupid. I hate woke writing, and I hate like forced agenda pieces. That's where I get annoyed. My problem is always forced agenda in video games where I'm having to sit here and have you lecture me. Now, I have no problem with the character being gay at all. If it's done tastefully and it's written well, great example is the first Last of Us game. I think the way that they wrote that character, and there's like nuances in there, you can find out more about about the fuck, I can't remember his name. The guy who's played by Ron Swanson in the TV show, which did a terrible job of it. It's a great story in the episode. It just feels like it feels like filler. Anyways, but in the game, it felt like it was a narrative push, and it was like also interesting. You're, oh shit, the dude was gay. Oh, okay, who cares? Moving on. It's like nobody gives a fuck about gay shit in games unless you're like actually a spurg. Now, here's the thing too. It's like you can have great characters that also are gay. Wow, nobody cares. It's written well. No one's whining. Oh no, they're lesbian. Okay, well, moving on with my day. But if then I get a 10-minute lecture about lesbians, I like being a lesbian in today's society, then I'm fucking zoned out. I don't care. This shit's garbage. But just like banning all gay people, this is wild.
One is just kind of like beating around the bush and not talking about it or trying to say this is like an acceptable thing. It isn't. It 100% needs to be dealt with. It needs to be addressed that it is a problem, that it is actively making games worse. People don't want to see this. It needs to be straight up banned. and I just don't see.
Yeah, ban it, dude. Anytime you find something you disagree with, ban it all. Just fucking ban it all. It's gay. It's cringe. We need to ban it all. No more talking about the gays. No more thinking about the gays. If you're gay, leave the world. Nobody likes you. It's cringe. You're cringe.
A lot of people really bringing up that fact because to them this idea that we have to advocate for free speech and we have to advocate for freedom of expression and like do all this and this. No, fuck you. Like,
dude, I am 100% for free speech. The fact that this guy wants he wants Nintendo to run the entire world. He's like, oh, Nintendo doesn't have gay people because they hate gay people. That's good. I don't even know if that's true. That's like the thing. I don't even know if there's gay Nintendo characters or not. But this guy's like, yeah, dude, ban it all. If you say you're gay, we should throw you in the gulags. Bring back the good days of Russia.
Homosexuality is disgusting, and it is a stain on human culture, and should be treated as such. So, with that being said, the thing I want to do in order to like deal with LGBT themes in games, I think the ESRB should consider any homosexuality, immediately slap it with an AO. No exceptions.
Bro, your fucking game has a gay character. Now you are in the porn section of Steam. That's I think I'd rather lick the underside of a McDonald's toilet than listen to his audiobook. Yeah, dude, this is his opinions, bro. I mean, Lovecraft was a known racist and he was a good writer, so maybe his books don't suck. Maybe one day I'll listen to it and I will give you my fucking thoughts on his book. But I don't see me spending an hour and 27 minutes listening to his fucking schlop spiel while he tells me about how anytime somebody like hints at being gay, you should be in an adult-only game.
100%, it should not be exposed to anybody who isn't a complete degenerate. Games that have homosexual themes should not be allowed to be sold at retail. They should not be readily available to buy digitally. They should be banned from most platforms, right? This should be where we're headed next, right? Like, it needs to be
dude, he's the Nintendo Nick Fuentes, bro. He's the Nintendo Nick Fuentes.
Understood that like this kind of degeneracy, this kind of depravity does not belong in mainstream gaming, and that is my pitch here. Make homosexuality adults only.
What the fuck, dude? This guy is a fucking treasure trove, bro. He's a fucking treasure trove of bad takes. This is just like the fucking tip of the penis here, dude. Here we go.
Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, and King Dio. The AVGN, the angry video game nerd, I think is officially dead. It dawned on me while I was trying to sit through episodes.
Wait, he's dead? What? No, dude. The angry video game nerd is dead? Oh no, dude. Oh my god, dude. No. Oh man, their videos aren't getting views anymore. They're a dead channel. Oh no. How could this happen? Wait. 385,000 views for him having a announcement trailer for his game. His last fucking angry video game nerd video, 846,000 views, 1,000,000 views. Like, come on, bro. He's dead. You're fucking dead, bro. How many views is this kid? 4,000. Look at you go. Look at you chugging along.
Episode 200, every single LGN game, that I had no real interest in watching it. I had no interest in even knowing what happens, like what jokes he comes up with, what things he has to say about each game. I don't care.
Dude, fucking Angry Video Games Nerds video on all the LGN games spread its cheek and diarrhea shot all over your entire channel. Your entire existence, all your books, all your writing was shat on by one video. That video has more views the day it was uploaded than your entire existence of being viewed by people. Like, you step out of your basement probably 3 times a year and then talk to people. So the consistency of your channel views meeting actual people, all of those views together do not accumulate to be the amount of views on that video.
And the reason for that is just a long period of time of James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd himself, not giving much of a shit about anything. Like, at least 3 years worth, probably further than that, to be completely honest with you. There have been signs of this for forever, but I do think at this point...
Well, here's the thing, if that's dead, my channel... Well, you're starting out, Rev. You're just starting out. See, here's the thing that people don't understand. When you're starting out, right? And I'm in this category too. I've been doing this like a little over a year, like actually doing the YouTube thing, not like quitting my job and doing the YouTube thing, but actually putting in more effort into content, trying to really hit the scene. The consistency is key. And when you do start to get the ball rolling and start to get hit from different avenues and start to see like, oh, I can do this, you start hitting like the stride. And once you hit that stride, bro, you're basically just coming on shit, dude. You're just fucking killing it. You're mad king, you're mad capping the world, you're doing great. And it's just about hitting that stride. The problem with these type of guys is they get relevancy for being fucking stupid, and you will never actually grow from that. You will stagnate out at about 2 to 4K subs. Sometimes you'll get a little bigger, and you will be somebody that people watch their videos sometimes to see if you said anything super fucking dumb. And then when you say something super fucking dumb, they take your video, they chop it up, and then they shit on you for like 10 times the amount of views that you've gotten on your entire channel. That fucking hour-long video that I clicked on a second ago, that was like the Nintendo Nazi, has more views than his highest viewed video on his channel. More people are interested to hear more people shit on this guy than what he has to do about other people. Now, if he wanted to go about this and make a video on why the angry video game nerd sucks now, and like did a breakdown on why he doesn't have the energy in this, and actually put in that time and effort to actually make a decent video, he might have gotten some views on it. But instead, he's sitting here from his fucking entitled little position of, I'm a Gooner King, and look at my fucking creepy ass basement where I can see all of the wires and fucking tubes everywhere, and talking down to everybody. It's like, bro, you live in a fucking dungeon, dog. You live in a dungeon and you talk about how gay people should be banned off of this earth. Like, you're never gonna grow. So, like, don't ever be upset that your channel's not doing that well. Because when you see people like this who have the good views, you think have good views, they're not actually succeeding because nobody's there to actually care about anything they say. So when you actually get fans, you will have fans and people who enjoy your content. This guy has haters.
Boy, it's safe to say that James is completely disinterested in any form of work. Like anything, like not showing up for James and Mike Mondays, not...
Dude, his channel, the one random video game nerd video we get like every once in a while has more production value than everything you've ever put on your channel. Every single video you've ever put on your channel doesn't have 1 minute of production value out of any of his videos. And I'm talking about the ones he did when he first started uploading. They have more production values than your entire channel. That must hurt. That must suck, dude. Like, that must be painful to know that you've never done anything of any real artistic value, and you're sitting over here talking down to somebody who has. Now, you might not find his shit jokes hilarious or his diarrhea spew or throwing poop at each other jokes funny, but I do. But you like the idea that he doesn't care anymore. Like, sure, you can, maybe he doesn't care as much anymore, but he's been doing this shame shtick for probably like 10 plus years now. It's going to get a little stale, like every show gets stale. Now, he probably still has a little fun with it. I mean, he's making tons of money. Why wouldn't you keep doing it? If the shtick is still working, keep doing it. If you find success and you know that you can keep cultivating that success, wouldn't you keep cultivating that success? Yeah, you might get stale from time to time, but I still find enjoyment out of even his new videos, even though they're not as high quality in terms of humor and like punchiness of his old stuff. But nobody keeps the same consistency forever. Your consistency is you're a fucking dungeon crawler who lives in a shoebox and spouts fucking racism and homophobia to the point that you just want them banned. Like, you would rather only your opinions be valid, and then you spout off your novels that nobody fucking read. You're like, oh dude, I wrote Black Cat. Nobody fucking gives a shit because you're this fucking weird incel living in a basement writing shitty books.
Not making new series, not making new nerd videos. Anything like that's not music related, it seems to completely disinterest.
I remember this era of AVGN too, when he did his music thing, and he seemed to be having fun, and people were mad that he wasn't having fun with the shit he'd been doing for fucking 10 years. And it's like, wow, dude found a passion, and everybody who was fans of his one type of content was shitting on the fact that he had something else he enjoyed.
Him, like, to the point where like he can't even find the time to do anything. And as a result of that, the quality of the output on Cinemassacre is the lowest it's ever been. And I think it's gone beyond simply being Screenwave's fault. For the longest time, like, Screenwave has been obviously the reason for all of the issues at Cinemassacre. But at this stage, I think James himself is to blame. I think he's not really willing to put like any kind of effort into maintaining the channel. He's not interested in interacting with his fan base in any meaningful capacity. He's not interested in a...
Well, dude, he doesn't interact with his fan base. You don't have a fan base. You're like, your fucking fan base is nothing. You exist in this fucking shoe. You've made, like, if we go to your videos and we go oldest, you've been making videos for 6 years and they have zero relevancy. Like, that's sad, bro. That's big sad. Like, what is, like, I'm reading the Witcher books. Dude, it sucks. He's a Berserk fan. That sucks, dude, because Berserk is better than his entire existence. I wrote a book. The Witcher Blood of Elves sucks. I've been clickbaited. I'm planning my next novel. Let's find something wild. Maybe he has something deep in here. My next rabbit hole. Recommended me some Funimation. Rabbit hole in 1,000 words. What the fuck is World War III? Console war, declaration of war against the PlayStation Nation. Console diversity is a bad thing. Jesus Christ. Fucking owns a Mario hat.
One of the myths that has been pushed around by the gaming industry in the past several years, since the PlayStation was introduced, I would say, is that it is a good thing that multiple video game consoles exist.
It is.
You should not just buy one video game console and then support all your favorite games on it. You should buy all of them and buy all of the...
Exclusivity should die you. It just should. It's anti-consumer. I think you should be able to play shit like your PlayStation games on your Switch and your Xbox games on your Switch, and then you can also play them on your console. I think consoles should be like a luxury type thing where they're like a convenience and luxury. So it's like a more affordable version into PC gaming. I think that's how it should be ran, and everything's just on. And they should argue over who has the best hardware. That should be the argument: is best hardware for the best price.
All the exclusives, subscribe to all the subscription services, and buy all the third-party games. You should especially be excited about the third-party games. There has been this narrative for years that you should buy a Wii, a PlayStation, an Xbox, a Switch, a Wii U, instead of only buying one.
Or you can buy a PC. You can buy a PC and play everything except for Switch games. That's where I was. And now that I know that everything's coming to PC, I'm just going to keep upgrading my PC and then play everything on PC.
Instead of getting all the third-party games.
He's getting exactly what he wants, just not on the console he wants is what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. It's big sad for him. He's probably really mad. One day Nintendo will start porting their stuff to PC and he's going to fucking like jizz in his own socks about it. It's like, but yeah, that's Harmon Smith. I know that there's better clips. I just don't know. I just don't know all the good ones right now. This is kind of like a fucking. It's kind of like a fucking lame. What we're looking at. I mean, the fact that he fucking shit on. Yeah, dude, why are you being lectured by a guy in a Mario hat? Exactly, dude. Like, what the fuck is he? Gaming journalism, weaponized Skyrim grammar for anti-gamer propaganda. Ooh, this sounds interesting. Let's see if we can actually. We're gonna speed.
So a while back,
let's speed. How do I do this? Hold on. Playback speed. We're gonna go to.
heard a.
Oh, I did the wrong playback speed, guys. Bear with me. I'm fully retarded. We're gonna go 1.5. All right.
That the Skyrim grandma, some 7-year-old woman who streams Skyrim, apparently had been harassed online by trolls. And of course, I just sort of dismissed it. I just sort of ignored it. I just didn't really think about it at all. I didn't really care. I felt bad for her, obviously, but it was one of those situations like, well, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get fired up about every single situation that happens. You know what I mean? As it turns out, that story, according to the Skyrim grandma herself, are not true. Apparently, she stopped streaming for health reasons. Like, she's having problems with her heart or her blood pressure or something like that, and it's not because of her audience, who are apparently wonderful, and she would just like to remind the game journalists that not publish...
It's a fucking nothing burger, bro. It's a fucking nothing burger. Dude, this is the problem with locales too, is you're going to get a bunch of fucking, you're gonna get a bunch of slop, dude. You're gonna get a bunch of videos that are, because they upload like fucking spurgs, bro. They upload like, they just spurg out, bro, and they just fucking upload constantly and constantly. And, oh man, we could have listened to a bad take in slow motion. Yeah, dude. Let's go to like a really wild, let's see if I can find another one. Grifter Grums, pressure to release, woke backlash. Let's see if I can find let's see here. We need to talk about Nintendo Switch 2 and how it's won the gaming. Oh, of course it's won, dude. You wake up and you just start sucking off fucking Nintendo until you get balls deep. DEI developers.
They're not changing shit. Okay, I keep seeing these game devs like that. Nobody cares about releasing these statements that, oh, we're getting rid of DEI policies. We're not going to
look at the amount of fucking grease slop in this fucker's hair, dude. Jesus.
Or it's causing. We don't like it. We've heard it under. No, what they're doing.
See, this is what it looks like when you don't shower, and my hair looks like is what it looks like when you do shower. See how it's just flowy and nice and soft, and his is probably rock hard, like he wants Mario's dick to be while it inserts his mouth.
Trying to force you into a false sense of complacency while they still utilize these policies anyway, right? Because they've reached the point over the past couple of years where these policies have become so toxic and so self-destructive that they have to publicly backtrack on it. And they keep releasing these statements.
Is it crazy? Am I crazy? Or when I have this on 1.5 speed, he's talking like a normal fucking person that doesn't have to do a soft reboot every time he thinks of a thought.
Saying all these things, but what's the end result, right? They're not producing good video games. They're not doing what they should be doing because they're not allowed to do what they should do. Okay, they're not hiring the best people, white men. They're not really...
Whoa! They're not hiring the best people. White guys. White guys are the best. White people are the best. Everyone else, mad cringe because everybody else is gross and stinky and brown. Ew, gross, stinky brown people.
Thinking about how to actually make good games. And this is very clear and very obvious if you simply look at what these people are doing on Twitter and other social media platforms. Seeing how they complain about how people are angry at their behavior and how they treat their fans and how they go about their game design philosophies, right? Because at the end of the day, I think wokeness really is just a symptom as to what the actual problem is. These developers simply aren't capable of making it.
He'd probably be so angry if his hair wasn't trying to pull his forehead behind his ears. I know, dude. His hairline's yeeting it back. Like, I have a big forehead, always had a big forehead, but he's got like 6 runways built up there. He could literally like harbor an entire Air Force base.
A good game, even if they publicly disavow, symptoms of the problem, like DEI and like woke culture, like rampant liberalism, like the reality is the game devs do not have the capacity to sit down and really make a fun, engaging video game. They just can't do it. They won't commit the time. They won't commit the effort. They won't learn what people want. They can't innovate. And this is something that's been very self-evident for a long time now. If you're not a Nintendo fan, you haven't gotten anything new or interesting in over 25 years. So to me, like, companies releasing statements saying that like they're going against DEI, it's just an attempt at getting people back on the plantation, right?
That's not true. This whole thing, if you're not a Nintendo fan, they haven't released anything interesting. I mean, if you play on PC, there is a new interesting FPS game dropping like every fucking other month. There's so much shit that it's so hard to keep up with that I constantly feel behind because there's so much stuff that I see on Twitter or whatever of some new indie game coming out that looks better than anything that any of these AAA companies have put out in years. Like, literally, I could play DOSman games and have a better release. Like, if I just follow DOSman games, I get more releases than any AAA game, and they're still all pretty solid titles. Now, they're not very long. If you want to put a gripe there, absolutely, but they're $3. Like, tell me there's something equivalent to that with Nintendo.
That's their mindset about this, is that they're trying to get you to come back and support them, while Ubisoft is still trying to sell you on Assassin's Creed Black Samurai. Like, after they pulled this entire stunt in which they had a bunch of their activists in Japan try and gaslight the community into thinking that, like, Yasuke was an actual samurai, right? Something that, like, is not true.
Like, here's the thing. Yasuke was kind of a samurai and kind of not. Here's how it worked. So, here's the story of Yasuke. It's kind of a little weird. So, a European with a slave came over to Japan. One of the Japanese, like, lords thought it was really fucking cool that there was a black person. He was like, whoa, dude, your skin's not covered in dirt. This isn't me saying this. This is what I've read about the whole situation. They thought he was, like, dirty or something. So and then they found out that was his skin color. And they're like, holy shit, there's people that have different skin color than me. And he found it kind of interesting as a novelty. So he kind of put Yasuke in a position where he was kind of like the guy who would like carry the weapons and stuff, which is still technically a samurai, but not a samurai. And he basically paraded him around, going to like every other lord to say, hey, look at this guy I found. He's got dark colored skin. Isn't that crazy? And then they would go to the next area and he'd be like, bro, do you see this guy? He's got dark colored skin. They don't make them like this in Japan. And that was the story of Yasuke. That is the information they have. Is it racist? That story sound kind of racist? Absolutely. Have we got cool media of it, like Afro Samurai and stuff? Yeah, like it's cool that he existed, and that there is history of a samurai, or there being a black samurai. But to pretend that he was more than he was, and then call the game historically accurate, that was where they made the mess up. Is they started talking about historical accuracy and trying to tell the story, the untold stories and stuff. It's like there's so little literature about Yasuke that really all you have is a lord parading a guy around because he thought it was funny, like a circus animal. It's kind of a racist fucking story, but it's cool to exist. The problem was when Ubisoft started virtue signaling about it and pretending that they were doing some grand cause by putting Yasuke in the game because they wanted to get brownie points online. And also, I think that they did it on purpose because they knew that this would cause buzz for a game series that they haven't gotten buzz for in a long time. And it's worked. Like, I'm not saying it hasn't worked, and the game hasn't come out yet. I do find it kind of insulting, though, if we're talking about it being talking about being progressive. You finally have a game in Japan and you don't have a Japanese guy in it or leading it. It's a little fucking offensive. That's why the Japanese people hate. I got so mad at Ubisoft. It's like, oh, so you're gonna represent our culture by not representing our culture. Thank you. That's where it hits this wall. This idea that it's just because it's Yasuke, and calling him not a samurai, and then like dumbing down the argument just to win a culture war is stupid. I think you should have, like, I think Ubisoft has every right to have a story built around Yasuke. I think the virtue signaling they did in their PR campaign was what kind of pulled me away from it. And also, I don't trust anything that comes from Ubisoft anymore.
Nobody thinks, but it's been pushed into the mainstream anyway to try and push this agenda, right? And Ubisoft tried to normalize it. And because they failed so hard, the public began to become aware of this kind of subversion of Japanese history. Now, the important thing we have to understand about the Yasuke thing is that this is not an isolated incident. Like, the only thing interesting about Yasuke is that this is about another culture. This is about Japanese history. This isn't American history. This isn't Western history. Like, they absolutely control the way that people see Western history, which is why you see, the interpretation that white people are evil and that we came here and just like killed all the natives and then like stole their land, when that's not really what happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a justification to push their bizarre worldview. It's an excuse to do what they want to do: replace white people with a more easily controlled slave class.
Well, here's the problem too. Your whole fucking white person argument is gone. You used an example where it would be replaced with a Japanese person. And if we're playing the game of what color is my skin, I guess that doesn't really hit your points, buddy. Like, it's weird that he has this past. Like, he's so fucking white-centric, but he has such a fascination with another culture. It makes absolutely no sense. He can't even do his racism right. Imagine being so bad at everything online that you can't even do the things you talk about online right. Because this dude's fucking obviously racist. He's had definitely plenty of times where he's gone on racist rants and shit. But then when it comes to Japanese people, he's like, yeah, but they get a pass because I fucking like Nintendo. So it's weird, dude. It's weird. Like, I don't support any real, like, I'm not, like, I don't like racism. It's bad. Whoa, shocker, dude. Fucking controversial take. But I also don't like the woke ideology in games either. You can have both positions. You can see where the dialogue is getting so heavy-handed that it's ruining the game, but you also can be like, I do like when a character is female that has, like, she's just a good character. If they write a good character and she's female, I don't give a shit. I'm like, cool. Like, Beyond Sunset. The first thing in Beyond Sunset, I wasn't thinking about, oh, dude, this game sucks because you play as a brown chick. Oh, no, dude. I don't, like... The game never shoved it down my throat, so I had a fun time with it. There's ways to do it right, and to make, like, to just create a good narrative and have your fun with it. It's like with the whole argument with South of Midnight right now, or not right now, but like the whole previous, before the game launched, the argument about it. It's like the game hasn't even launched yet. We've seen very little, and you guys are just mad because there's a black chick at the lead. Like, this could be culturally relevant for the game and the story, but you are not going to give it the time and day because you're so fucking entrenched in this culture war.
What essentially DEI and the masters are their masters are all about, and they are, as of like 2024, I think they are trying to calm the backlash. I do think too many people have caught on to what's going on. They're speaking out about it, and so they have to like publicly release these statements saying that, like, using terms like legal immigration, right, when in reality we should be going for like zero immigration, because we still have people in this country who are unemployed. So there's no reason to bring in immigrants and the lower wages even further. Right? There's no reason to do that. So instead of improving, job work conditions or, giving natives jobs, they have to like do this thing where they're just like, well, we can't find anybody. Oh, by the way, that's another cope that like the establishment uses, is like, nobody wants to work anymore. Yeah, because you're not paying them. You're not making it worth their while. It's literally against my best interest to work at this point.
Dude, what the fuck? Dude, he went on like 47. He went on like 472. He was talking about illegal immigrants, but then he was talking about natives. Like, those are two different groups. Like, obviously they're not illegal immigrants because they were already here, buddy. It's just so dumb. Like, he can't keep his points straight, bro. This is like why you're such a fucking clown, and that's why I don't want to read your books, because if you can't keep your shit together for 5 minutes and 23 seconds in a video, why the fuck would I listen to an hour and 27-minute audio book of your bullshit? But that's all I got for you guys today. That was a fun little rabbit hole. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be because I forgot how boring Harmon Smith was.